Everybody's upset because he's a mime who steals underpants. What's going on, everybody? King of Chaos, Logan Black here, and you're watching another episode of Pro Wrestling Explained to my wife. Hi, wife.
Hi, husband.
Today we're going back to the gimmicky era of WWF. The year was 1995. If I had top shelf Troy Nelson sitting next to me, he would be really, really excited. He'd be like, oh, he couldn't keep his body straight. He'd be going nuts. He loves this year because he loves the ridiculous gimmicks. And we're going to be watching Fantasio. He is,
Fantasio?
Well, you know what? There's no Mickey Mouse. There's no dancing brooms. So, not quite. But what we do have is an interesting gimmick, a unique gimmick, but one that really didn't get over too well. So, if you're expecting, brooms dancing and Mickey Mouse, playing the conductor, we're not going to get that.
Well, shit.
Oh, we're stuck with wrestling this time.
Fuck.
Yeah. So this.
Oh, boy.
I know I've mentioned this at least once before. This is Fantasio. Or Fantasio. So even this family does not know what to make of this fella.
Evil mime.
Evil mime. You know what? Wrestling has never had an evil mime.
Except for this guy.
No, he's a magician.
Oh, but he's
he's doing magic
makeup.
tricks. He made the fire disappear.
But he has mime makeup.
See, he's making his hat explode.
I'm not saying mimes can't do magic, but I'm saying
mimes
he's a
can't.
mime.
But mimes can't do magic. They're stuck in a box. How are you going to do magic in an invisible box?
They do invisible magic. I'm just saying, this guy reads his mime before he reads. Look, he's literally doing mime shit.
Mimes don't pull things out of their mouths.
They definitely do.
No, they don't. They do this. They're in a box. Mr. Mime from Pokemon was setting up invisible walls.
The key thing about a mime is they don't talk. I've heard no words out of this guy's mouth.
Well, you hear nothing. It's on mute.
But he hasn't said it. You can tell when someone is saying things. He's not said anything.
And now he's going to give the garbage to a kid. There you go.
Now this kid gets to be a creepy mime.
The kid's like, why is he going here? You throw this away. So his opponent is, would later on become a member of the Baldies in ECW.
Does he get gear then?
No, actually. He wears track pants and a t-shirt.
All right.
Tony DeVito was his name. Hella talented dude from upstate.
Doesn't get a gimmick, though.
The Baldies. He was part of a New York street gang.
Here he doesn't get a gimmick.
No.
He just gets man in singlet.
Right.
Who gets beat up by the mime.
Yep. Oh. And the mime scares him with another magic trick. See, now here is my thing. Like, I understand that, like, you need, main eventers. You need your, jobbers. And you need your mid-carders. Mm-hmm. But what did they expect to come from this? Did they expect anything more than, like, a guy to just open up shows with some magic tricks? Because you're not going to put this guy as your headline on WrestleMania, you know? You're not going to be like, it's Hulk Hogan or The Undertaker versus the guy who does magic. It's not going to happen.
Still not the dumbest gimmick we've seen.
Certainly not, but it's got to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, granted, this is a really fun gimmick if you're like a kid on like on local shows. Mm-hmm. If this guy was like a big deal in Memphis for years, and it makes sense because like you go to the shows, you see this dude who does magic. If you're a kid, you're gonna fucking love that. But again, who's gonna pay on pay-per-view to see the magician?
People who really like mimes.
Duck 2 hits the big Cena shoulder tackle. Maybe that's Cena underneath everything,
Instead of you can't see me, it's you can't hear me. Because I'm a mime.
Alright, his finishing move is about to come up here. Ready? Here's the finisher. He rips out the guy's underwear and rolls him up with a schoolboy. What a finish.
All right. Like anyone wears boxers under a singlet.
I mean, it's very possible.
Seems like it would be a lot of fun.
And he pulled it from the ref.
Oh, boy.
And the referee has zebra-striped undies. Everybody's upset because he's a mime who steals underpants.
Change my mind. Best gimmick.
First things first. On the list of wrestling finishers all time, Stone Cold Stunner, the Rock Bottom, the Pedigree. Where on that list does the Magic Wedgie fall in? We're talking all the way at the top. It's in the middle. In between, what finishes are we talking about here?
I'd say like lower middle would get extra points if it was called the Panty Raid.
It probably would. Again, we've got a mime-looking magician who steals underpants. That's his gimmick. Maybe he was a bit early for the Attitude Era. I feel like a guy in makeup who steals underpants probably would have been a really great Attitude Era gimmick. I don't know. I mean, you had Choppy Choppy your pee-pee. You had, wrestling porn stars. And you had all the other craziness of that era. Why not have a guy in makeup stealing some underwear?
Why not?
Get on the horn, Fantasio. Get on the horn right now. Hit him up. Who knows? They're trying to bring back a more adult-centered product right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe they want underpants thieves.
Maybe.
Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Pro Wrestling Explained. To my wife, you can check me out on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at King of Chaos NYC, and you're checking this out on the Year One Wrestling Podcast YouTube account. You should be subscribed to the show itself, literally anywhere that you can get a podcast. Make sure to check it out, hit subscribe, and then check out the social media at Year1 Pod. And for you, dear?
You can find me on Instagram at Banana Lunch or Twitter at BenchBro Esquire.
Well, for the missus and myself, love each other, love yourselves, love pro wrestling.